What's up guys, and you join me Justin, and I am driving something that needs very little in the form of an introduction. Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, and I would like to express that it is a G-Wagon. You see, when I was taking photos of this car a couple of days ago, some cyclists came past and the one guy was like, "Oh my word, look at the G-Wagon." And then some uneducated cyclist said, "That's not a G-Wagon, it's a 400d, it's not a 63. Dude, seriously, this is a G-Wagon, bro. And I think that it is the perfect G-Wagon. And here's why. You see, in 1979, when Mercedes or Daimler, whatever they were called back then, decided to build the G-Wagon, they built it because the army requested a vehicle that can literally go anywhere and do everything. And I mean, an army vehicle. This is the German Hummer, and for the last 43 odd years this vehicle has remained an icon. It has demanded respect wherever it goes, whoever looks at it. Even this pitiful 400d, according to Mr. Cyclist, the G-Wagon has remained true to form. It's still a brick with wheels, and I adore it. This, however, is the latest one, and it does feature a lot of modern stuff, but it's been perfectly integrated. And here are some of the things that I like. So on the outside, the main thing that I adore about this specific vehicle is the color. It's called olive green, and isn't it just gorgeous? It's absolutely a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful color. It sparkles, it looks great. It's a mission to take photos of, but I absolutely love it. Also new on this 2020 version, you get new headlights with some nice LED design, daytime running lights to them, kind of like a circle that's not a complete circle. I think it looks great. The rear lights have changed, and we've got nice black AMG line wheels on this specific model. This specific model is also called the Stronger Than Time model, and it basically features a whole bunch of stuff that kind of the G-Wagon client would want. So you have a lot of black trimmings on the outside, and on the inside, which I'll get to now, there's a whole lot of luxury things that make this the ideal go anywhere, do anything, whatever vehicle. To the untrained eye, like that cyclist buddy who reckons that this is not a G-Wagon, it looks agricultural, but it's really not. You have a 9-speed G-tronic gearbox. You have a rack and pinion steering. Yes, you still have a ladder frame chassis, but you've got AMG suspension, and it really returns a comfortable drive, and it's relatively, I'm not going to say sporty, because I mean, gosh, it's not the sportiest handling vehicle, but it looks like a brick on wheels. It doesn't handle like a brick on wheels. The refinements made to the suspension are really noteworthy. However, one of the biggest improvements and one of the biggest elements of this vehicle that I think make it such a brilliant car is the engine. Mercedes-Benz did drop a 3.5 litre turbocharged diesel into the previous ones. They've now ditched that, and they've gone for a new 2.9 litre straight 6 turbocharged diesel. Now you might be thinking, hold on, come on, 2.9? Really? Well, it produces 243 kilowatts and 700 Newton meters of torque. 700. Okay, then you throw in the fact that you have three locking differentials, front, middle and rear, plus you have low range, plus you have ground clearance, plus you've got 20-inch rims on Pirelli Scorpion tires. This thing will go over anything, including a uneducated cyclist. Actually it won't, because it does have pre-collision, and I don't think you can drive over someone, or maybe you can, I don't know. But out in the jungle with 3 locking differentials, the amount of torque that you have, this thing can conquer just about anything. And that is what a G-Wagon is. Now, I have driven the 63 before, and I've absolutely loved it because it was hilarious. It was a funny experience. I mean, nothing that big that sounds like that should move that quickly. I mean, in the 63, when you put your foot down, the whole thing lifts up and it feels like you're going to fall over backwards, and it just makes this Messerschmitt sound here in your ears. It is a total laugh. Whereas this is not. This really is more serious, and I like it. So another thing about this car is, because the engine just does what it's supposed to do effortlessly without any drama, you get to enjoy the stuff on the inside. And boy oh boy, there's a lot of stuff on the inside that make this car great. Firstly, you've got the new infotainment system, where you have your digital instrument cluster, your infotainment screen, which weirdly is not touchscreen. You still have to use the old rotary dial over here to control the stuff. I don't know why it's not touchscreen. It should be touchscreen, guys. But anyways, I'm nitpicking. It's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, so that's sorted. It has a fantastic Burmester sound system. I mean, the subwoofer sits right here. You've got tweeters over here. You've got speakers in the doors over here. Everything feels nice and close together. And when you crank this thing, you really do hop out, and you are a bit tone deaf, I won't lie. And I love the fact that you sit so high, you have this flat windscreen in front of you, and you see those iconic indicators on the corners of the bonnet. It's just, you sit so, it's so manly. I love this thing. And I also like the fact that this door panel over here is very square, so you can literally drive around like a boss with this hand showing people things. You'd be like, hey, get out the way, what up? There's space in the back. The boot is huge. This is what it sounds like when you unlock it. Okay, you ready? Oh, how's that? Sounds like a rifle being loaded. Now I'm gonna lock the door. Oh, that's a satisfying sound. Other things that I like is the fact that you can adjust the theme or display of your digital instrument cluster. You can change the way it looks, and you use these BlackBerry style buttons on the steering wheel to do that. Bit finicky in the beginning, but once you get used to it, it's great. I also like the fact that the center console here is very short stacked. You've got very nice air vent dials, which feature some LED lights. If you increase the temperature, they go red. If you decrease the temperature, they go blue. Very cool. There's also ambient lighting throughout the interior, and it really adds that sense of modern elements to the interior, which is still very, it's timeless. And I think that's what the whole Stronger Than Time, because you can't say it's old school, because nothing in here is really old, but it's modern, but it still feels old. It's great. I absolutely love it. It's like walking into an old house and then you're finding out that the interior is completely modern. You know, it's got like underfloor heating and Wi-Fi and vacuum things in the walls and stuff like that. It's really great. So yeah, guys, driving this thing around, you don't feel, or I don't feel, as if I have to be nailing this car all the time. In fact, I've had it in sport mode a couple of times, and it doesn't feel right. It's a diesel. I mean, it doesn't sound all that good. I found that comfort mode, and you waft along. And you can waft along in this thing, because fuel consumption is actually not that bad. I'm averaging, wait for it, 10 liters per 100. Yeah, it does have a 100-liter fuel tank, so when it is empty and you need to fill it, yeah, you might want to take out a little bit of a loan. I absolutely adore this vehicle, and I've absolutely adored my time with this vehicle. It is been phenomenal to drive. Yes, in the beginning I was very intimidated by it, but once you get used to it, it just fits you. It really is something incredibly special.